So from today onwards, we all will start fishery biology. This is your unit 6, quality control and packaging. Now, as I told you that we all are learning the subject fishery biology. So here, quality control and packaging, it is related all about to the fish, that how to make the quality check. Suppose if I will ask you to check the quality of the fish, first thing what you all are going to check? Yes, in quality control and packaging, if it is related to fish, first thing what you will check? Come on, fast. Simply, you are in market, you went to buy the fish, and as a quality control, first thing what you will assess? Sakshi, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, so answer my question. If you are in market and you are buying the fish, first thing what you will check?
If it's a fresh or not.
Absolutely correct. Who is this?
Nasir.
Very good, Nasir. The first quality assessment in the case of the fish is its freshness. After that, you will see the size, this, that. Because if the fish is not fresh, quality wise, it's very poor. So today we all are going to discuss all this about the quality control, and in the later part we all are going to discuss about the packaging, fish packaging in detail. We all are going to learn in SAM 6 also. But here few important mechanism of packaging will be considered under the quality control. So overall your unit will have, first, we will be talking about the post-mortem changes and mechanism. As I told you that first, if you will go to the market and buying the fish, first thing you will be observing is its freshness. So, how you all are going to assess its freshness when you know the post-mortem changes? So you will compare it whether the fish is spoiled or not. Then, breathe methods of evaluation of the freshness and quality of fish and prawns and shrimp. Now, see here, few methods are there which are used on the industrial level, and few method day to day life we all evaluate or we all use. Like, if I am going to buy the fish into the market, I will check its stiffness, I will check its gills and all. So this all we all are going to discuss in detail. Then thereafter we will be talking about the sanitary operations. Now see, sanitary operations are very much important in the case of the fish maintenance, because if hygiene is not maintained, so that is going to create a big problem, and it may become the cause of the spoilage. Then at the end we all will be talking about the packaging material in this unit, and as well as what are the important policies for the analysis of the fish. So let us begin with the post-mortem changes and the mechanism of the spoilage. Now see, these post-mortem changes are very much important, because all these changes, these are causing the means these are the things which led the fish to spoil, and it creates the foul smell. Now, even though fish is having a peculiar smell of the fish, if you will go to the place where the fish market is there, say example, if you will go to this Masjid Bandar station from CST. If you are going by walk, so immediately you will come to know somewhere here. Even if you are very new to that particular place, you will come to know here is something happening related to fish, or there may be a market, or there may be a processing unit or something, right? If you will go to the place where the fish market are there, so with their peculiar smell only you can identify here the fish is there. So when the fish get spoiled, so that particular time a very foul smell produced in that, and this smell is produced because of the post-mortem changes which happen in the mechanism of the spoilage. So let us start now. When we talk about the post-mortem changes, so it starts after the death now. But you might be thinking, कि ma'am, whatever fish we are eating generally, we all are getting the dead fish only, right? We all are not we all are not getting means we all are not staying in village, right? We are staying in Mumbai, so usually we are getting the dead fish only. So immediately after the death of the fish, some changes take place in the body. Now see, these changes are varying from the fish to fish. Suppose if you have brought market for the whole week, your mummy will say सबसे पहले prawns clean कर. Is it or not? Why she's saying so? Because इसमें जल्दी से organoleptic changes होते हैं and it gets spoiled at the faster rate. Same happens in the case of the Bombay duck also. राइट, बोम्बिल सबसे पहले हटा दो यहाँ से, ये सड़ जाएंगे. क्यों? बिकॉज वाटर कंटेंट इज मोर एंड मोर इन दैट. So it depends. Whatever changes are happening in the body of the fish, all these are depend on the basis of size of the fish, which type of fish is there, as well as physical condition where it is kept. अगर आपने ऐसे ही काली थैली में बांध के रखा है, या फिर you have kept it in a proper way into the refrigerator or in a proper place, it may happen in the season. Why season? Because seasons are related to the temperature. So high temperature may cause the more spoilage. जैसे कि हम लोग बोलते हैं गर्मियों में चीजें जल्दी खराब हो जाती है. Why? Because of the high temperature. Raising to the temperature can cause or can bring the mechanism of spoilage at the faster rate. And death condition, now that condition किस तरह से you have killed that particular fish, that also matters, because it brings the hormonal as well as the chemical changes. So what type of changes occurred into the carcasses of the fish? First of all, what happened, we all know that the brain is controlling the entire body circulation and everything. So first of all, as soon as fish dies, the control brain control ceases, and as soon ceases means stop. So when the brain is in not contact, so what is going to be happen? Whatever cycles are running, like your glycolysis and your production of APT, transportation. Because if brain will stop, just a minute, someone wants to join. Should be in time for lecture. So when we talk about the control, brain left its control, that means immediately after that brain stops working. So that will cause not only the cessation of your ATP synthesis production, but as soon as brain will stop working, your all cycles like your circulation, your glycolysis, your Krebs cycle, each and everything are going to be stopped here. Now, first, your brain is not working. Okay, matlab in case of fish, huh? Brain is not working, your transportation of the food material is not happening. Now whatever the things are required for the living cells, they will not get, because there is no transportation mechanism after the cessation of your circulation. So now, because of all this result into the stiffening of the muscle. So these particular changes are called as the rigor mortis. In detail we all are going to talk about the rigor mortis, but for now you just remember it is something which is coming immediately after the postmortem. After that also many things happen. So this occurs sooner or later, glycolysis forms. So whatever, is happening, whatever your organic acids are there, they all are going to decrease, and this decrease will brings the drop into the pH. And when the pH drops, so an acidic condition or an acidic environment is going to produce into the interstitial spaces. So all this will, whatever ATP synthesis and everything was there, so this thing will stop. So the cells which are live, now see, fish is dead, but the cells of fish are live, still live, right? So they require their food material, their nutritional condition, if it is provided, so they can remain live for a longer period of time. So after that, what happens, the body gets stiff, because now no glycolysis will happen, nothing will form. So immediately, whatever condition is happening, that condition is called as the rigor mortis. Now rigor mortis will stay for a small period. आपने देखोगे कि fish is stiff for the longer period of time. You will find, now see, this stiffness we prefer, right? Market में जब हम जाते हैं फिश खरीदने के लिए, तो we prefer the stiffness. Most of the time we touch and check whether the fish is stiff or not, right? Especially in the case of prawns, if it is stiff, then only we all are going to buy. So this particular situation, this stiffness or this rigor mortis remain for a small time. After that, what happens, this muscle get means it is going to lose its stiffness, and it is going to become very soft, or undesirable changes will start producing now. So this rigor mortis is very important stage, and note it down. This is the quality mark, or this is the stage which we want as a means buyer to have in the fish. We want all this thing, that the fish should be stiff. Now we don't want कि immediately जो है तैरता हुआ मछली हमें चाहिए. We want this particular stage for eating. So this is the desirable stage. So immediately after finishing the rigor mortis, what will happen, the muscle tissue, they will lose the stiffness. Now after that, autolysis will happen. Autolysis means the amino acid will start breaking, and whatever low molecular weight compounds are there, that will start breaking. Means whatever food was reserve food was present inside the fish, that will start breaking. Lysis means breaking. Autolysis, automatically they will start breaking. Now why this is happening, because inside the gut, lots many of the microorganisms are there. Even in our gut also many microorganisms are there. So all these microorganisms, they will start utilizing these compounds. After that, what will happen, this will bring the chemical reaction, and this chemical reaction, they will first, so whatever the lower molecular weight compounds are present, like amino and whatever low molecular weight compounds are there, they are going to utilize that. Now we know microorganism, they tend to increase their number, and they proliferate very very faster rate. So after that, once their population will increase, so definitely they all are going to attack the high molecular weight compound. And this spoilage age, what will happen, whatever specific substances, especially the protein related substances are there, like your trimethylamine, histamine, all this will form on the basis of the fish, because every fish species have the different type of the composition. So whatever changes will happen, these all are called as the post-mortem changes. And first we will be talking about first stage of the post-mortem is the hyperemia. Now this hyperemia means excess of blood in the vessel. Now दिस इज द फर्स्ट स्टेज. इमीडिएटली आफ्टर दैट, डेथ की भी जो है स्टेजेस होती है. दिस पोस्टमार्टम इज हैविंग द वेरियस स्टेजेस. सो वन बाय वन वी विल टॉक अबाउट द स्टेजेस टुडे. I guess we will be just able to complete the hyperemia. Hyperemia is the access of the blood vessel. Now access blood into the vessel, that means it may be temporary and it may be for the longer time. So although this hyperemia in general, when we talk about the term hyperemia here, if we will exclude the fish quality part, so it is generally simply you can say raise into the blood pressure. So it can have medical implication, like it may allow the change into the blood supply through the various tissue. Now if blood is running very faster rate, so definitely it is going to give pressure on your endothelial vessels or your blood vessels. And what will happen, now we know these blood vessels are very sensitive towards the pressure. So whenever the pressure raise on the blood vessel, so automatically they increase their area, or you can say they increase their diameter, that is called as the vasodilation. So now I had told you earlier only that we are excluding the post-mortem effect and we are discussing the hyperemia, so that you know this term in very well. So when we talk about the excess of the blood vessel, what will cause, it will cause the vasodilation. Now there are two types of the hyperemia. Not necessary that hyperemia will cause immediately after the death only. It could be in the life situation also. So active hyperemia and passive hyperemia. When we talk about the active hyperemia, it is increase into the blood supply to an organ. Now see, it may happen that some organ is demanding more blood. Say example, when you are thinking or you are studying or you are doing some task, so that particular time the brain may require more and more blood. Okay, and you may, now you might be thinking, sometime it happens that you are doing some exercise or something suddenly, or especially when you do simple studies, so that time you feel like hungry, right? अब आप बोलोगे कि मैं तो बैठ के ही पढ़ाई कर रही हूँ, फिर भी मुझे भूख लग रहा है. Why it is happening? Because one part that is if you are studying with brain, just मम्मी को दिखाने के लिए, it is the another case. But sincerely, when you are studying, so your brain demands more and more blood and it is going to utilize all the nutrition. So that particular time you feel starved because you require more and more food. Same happen at the time of the exercise also. When we do exercise, so the part matlab the which are involved in the exercising, so that particular time they require more and more blood, so the blood will be more uh, concentrated to that particular region. Now when we talk about the passive hyperemia, so it happened that the blood has entered into the organ but it is not able to return back. So this particular blood that remains or build up into the blood vessel only. Now this particular type of hyperemia is related to our fishery or the quality, because now we have learned that immediately after the death of fish the brain stops working. The brain stops working, so it loses its control over the body, and thereafter what happens, the circulation ceases. So the blood has entered to the organ, but now as the circulation ceases, no signals are coming, so the blood do not know that it has to return back. So this particular hyperemia causes the congestion. Now what are the causes of hyperemia? We had already discussed, but still we will talk about. Now see, as we have seen that the hyperemia is of two types, so both the hyperemia is very different from each other. So for that particular reason we will be talking about the hyperemia. Now first we will discuss about the active hyperemia. So this increase, I told you, active hyperemia we will exclude from the rigor mortis, because usually it is not the point of concern. But as hyperemia is having two. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Actually, I switched to my network, that's why I'm asking. Okay, so as I told you, both the hyperemia is different. So that's why their conditions are also different and their causes are also different. So when we talk about the active hyperemia, so it is increased flow of blood in our body. Now see, it happens when body organ or body part they requires the more blood. Normal circulation से ज़्यादा blood चाहिए होता है. So this particular thing causes the vessel widening to increase the supply of blood flowing in. When we do exercise, we all see that our veins they become very prominent. Why it becomes prominent? Because there the blood is more and more concentrated. Even if you will lift the weight, so that particular time you will observe that your veins are protruding out. Why they are protruding out? Because at that particular stage they have the more and more blood for the demand of performing more and more work. Because to perform more and more work, that cells requires more and more energy, and we know that blood is the only vehicle which is transporting the energy or the nutrients to that particular region. So now what could be the causes of the active hyperemia? We had already discussed this. Exercise is one of the major cause for the reason of active hyperemia. So that particular time when we do the exercise, so our heart and muscle both need more and more oxygen. Why? Because heart has to pump the blood to that particular muscle or to that particular organ. So that particular reason the heart will also demand more oxygen. Now this blood will rush to the organ. Why? Because to supply the extra oxygen. Now these muscles they at the time of the exercising they need up to 20 times their normal supply of blood during the workout. So when we do the workout, oxygen demand uh, is increasing, and if it is for the temporary period of the time, it's well and good. This active hyperemia for a small period is really good to rejuvenate ourselves. Now heat. So when we have high fever or maybe temperature outside our surrounding is raised, so that particular time the blood flows to the skin. Now why blood is going to the skin? So that to release whatever heat is there, and that particular time lots of sweating occurs. So this is the reason, and this heat may be generated at the time of your workout also. Now digestion. So when we eat, stomach, intestine, they all involve, सब के सब काम पे लग जाते हैं. So that particular time to perform the task of the digestion, they need more and more blood, so that more and more actively. Now we have learned digestion in detail in SY, so we all know at the time of digestion lots many uh, cells and lots many glands they get activated and they synthesize so many digestive material, so the food will be digested. So how they perform, how do they generate all acids, how do they make all enzymes and all. So that means they are involved, their workload increase than the usual. So for that reason they need more and more blood to help the breakdown of the food as well as for the absorption of the nutrients. So that time their hyperemia will cause. So this is temporary hyperemia. Now these are the normal situation which we had discussed just now for the active hyperemia, but there may be the another situations also like inflammation. Now inflammation is one of our immune response which causes at the time of injury, infection, blood flow. will increase at the time of the inflation. In detail, we have learned inflation in immunology. So you know very well that what happens at the time of the inflation. Now menopause is the condition when the normal menstrual cycle ceases in a woman, because we all know that the woman, they menstruate up to some age only. So the women who are menopause, they have hot flashes. This all causes the rush of blood to the skin, especially on their facial region, neck, chest. So with this release of the blockage, hyperemia can help following the ischemia. Now see, this ischemia is treated by just doing the blood rush to that area. Now we will talk about the next category of the hyperemia, that is the passive hyperemia. So when blood can't properly drain from an organ, it will start remaining there and they build up in the blood vessels. So what could be the causes of passive hyperemia? First of all, heart failure or ventricular failure. Now heart failure, when the heart is loaded with lots of blood and the blood will not get chance to return back from the heart, so that particular situation, the heart failure or ventricular failure occurs. The left and right ventricle, we know that these are the distributing chamber of our heart. So they have the capacity, or they have the rhythms which helps into the pumping. So this particular time, what happened, this pumping chambers, they do not work accordingly. Now what is the function of these chambers? Now being human, we have the right ventricle as well as the left ventricle, but here we are talking about the fish. So we know fish is having only one ventricle, right? So what happened in this case, or any case heart failure, what happened, this ventricular pumps. So we know right ventricle, it pumps blood to the lungs, and the left is responsible for transferring, or you can say pumping the blood to the all body part. So this heart, when it will not beat properly to push the blood through the body, so that particular time, suppose your left ventricle is not working efficiently, so this blood will remain inside the heart only. So this will cause lots of backup into the heart. So this backup will cause the swelling, congestion, and all the organs, those who works on the high oxygen demand or high blood demand, like your liver, lungs, spleen, kidney, they all will not be able to return their blood in an efficient way. So this will cause the heart failure. Then next is the deep vein thrombosis. This will caused by a clot in one of the deep vein. Often it happens in the case of the lower legs. So this clot can be break free and get lodged into the vein in your lungs. That is called as the pulmonary embolism. Then we have the hepatic vein thrombosis. So this will cause the liver, hepatic name से ही पता चल रहा है, it is related to the uh, liver. So at that particular time, a situation cause which is called as the Butt Cherry syndrome. So it will cause the HVT blockage into the vein of liver. Now, what could be the symptoms? So symptoms are redness, warmth. Other symptoms depend on the cause of the problem, like your heart failure, then shortness of breath, coughing, wheezing, swelling in the belly, leg, ankle, or feet caused by the fluid buildup. Now, you are not required to remember the symptoms as part of your syllabus, but better if you know. So, this hyperemia will cause the fatigue, it will cause loss of appetite, nausea, confusion, fast heartbeat, DVT symptoms, deep vein thrombosis, swelling and redness into the leg, pain, warmth. Then your hepatic vein thrombosis symptoms, they include pain in the upper right of our abdomen, because liver is present in the abdominal belly, swelling in the leg and ankle, cramp in the leg and feet, as well as the itching. Next lecture we will be talking about the rigor mortis in detail. For this note, we'll stop for now.